topic, I think Kamal and Castle might agree on, well, they're going to disagree with what this lady's saying. Possibly. Let me play it.
Did not stop in America. The fight for black freedom began long before the civil rights movement in the USA. Even though they did do a lot, but it is important. I'm just going to list through some of the most important ones. So first we start off with my country, Jamaica. Now Jamaica actually influenced key figures in the American civil rights movement, such as Malcolm X. Now if you know Malcolm X, he wanted Pan-Africanism, and it is said he was influenced by Marcus Garvey, who's actually from my area in Jamaica. And his ideology and his existence is long before Malcolm X. Malcolm X's father, Earl Little, was a very passionate follower of Marcus Garvey. And also his mother is Caribbean, and she also shared those views with him, Malcolm X. Now, long before slavery ended in Africa, they actually resisted the colonizer. So the Ashanti Empire, from Ghana, they resisted the British Empire. Emperor Menelik II of Ethiopia, he fought against the Italians because the Italians did try to colonize Ethiopia, and he won that in the battle of Adwa in 1896. Now later on, don't you forget me, I already talked about the Jamaican slave revolt. The Haitians are legendary, the Caribbeans are legendary in that. In Zimbabwe, my favorite, who actually achieved liberation with some consequences because of that. So their leader also believed in Pan-Africanism, and they took up arms in like the 1960s due to the white rule called Rhodesia, where there was 5% of whites settled a colony, and that colony was like, they were the minority, but then they controlled the land, the economy, things like that. So they took up arms, and now they got their independence, but then the leader then slightly became a dictator only because he started to give the land to his like friends and stuff like that, only because he owed them back. That is actually a long story which I want to go into as well. Then you had South Africa, which the apartheid system started in 1940s, way before like big main civil rights movements in America. In the UK, there was the British Black Panthers, and then there was Notting Hill riots, which was about racism as well, as there is a lot of racism inside UK, but it is hidden. Then you had in India, people were rebelling against the caste system, and it's called the Dalit movement, and this is from the 1920s onwards. In the UK, in 1919, there was also revolt, or like race riot against racial discrimination due to Caribbean soldiers, what they faced. You had in Senegal, they resisted French colonialism, like Blaise Diagne. Sorry man, I'm saying the name wrong. He fought for African rights before World War II. The author of Black Skin, White Mask was from Martinique, and he also was with like Algeria, and he also campaigned for political liberation. Now there is so many to go over. However, what this is trying to just show you is that there can't be any divide. Like, we're all one people, bro. We must all respect our individual traditions. For example, I am Jamaican. I like that I'm Jamaican. My ancestors, they were African. My national hero, Nanny of the Maroons, she's from West Africa. But we have made a culture of our own. But there's a little bit of xenophobia sometimes going on. There can't be, because we are all one people.
Oh man, she said a whole lot. Kamal, you agree with her? What's your disagreements?
Man, this be my fucking thing. Why don't you just teach the Jamaican revolts and shit without putting in the civil rights shit? Like, I just don't be understand that. She could have taught all that and been like, look, this is what we did in Jamaica. We did this, you feel me? Hit a bomba clot in there, some shit like that, you feel me? Like, and you don't have it. It feels like she's saying we divisive, and then try to put, like, she's saying Malcolm X is from here, grandparents from here, and da-da-da. No, people see him as a foundational Black American. Can we stop the cap? Can we stop the cap? And it felt divisive. As soon as she said, yeah, the civil rights was cool and all, but look what we did back then over here in Jamaica. That's divisive. Why are you comparing? Just be like, look what we did over here, y'all. You feel me? We did this. And let's be real. Marcus Garvey didn't get shit popping until he came to the States. He went back to Jamaica and was like, man, fuck this. I'm moving to Europe. These motherfuckers don't want me here anyway. So that's the thing, is like, bro, just teach y'all history, right? And y'all revolts and shit, and stop trying to like overshadow what the fuck we did in the States as Black Americans. I don't get it. It's like, that's all. We wouldn't even be talking about this right now. She didn't say that little disclaimer. Like, yeah, the civil rights and all, that's what they did, but stuff was happening back then in Jamaica. I mean, in the States too, we was having slave revolts. Y'all think every slave was just laying down and doing nothing? No, we was whooping Whitey's ass. Get the hell out of here at that bull jive. That's just my only thing. That's where I felt it was divisive. Everything she was saying, you know what I mean? Except for the Malcolm X part, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. You feel me? But all the other stuff where she was talking about, we had these revolts here, this person here did this in Jamaica, that's cool. You don't have to drag us in it to tell y'all history. That's just how I feel about it.
Mm. Doc, what's your thoughts? Do you think what she said was divisive, or do you agree with what she said?
Nah, I think what she said was divisive, and a part of the problem of it being divisive is just her view at trying to take it comes off as if she wants to take credit for the civil rights movement, and she wants to act like it started here. She's name dropping Marcus Garvey and slave revolts, like Nat Turner didn't go out here and fight for his freedom, and it was guys who brought to America in chains in America. Their family lived in chains in America all the way up until the day they died, and they gave their life fighting for their freedom. And when you compare it, though I think all of it, it's a good thing to see all black people fight for freedom. I mean, it's an amazing thing in every country to see black people all wanting to be free and fight for freedom. It's not always the same struggle. Like I don't completely understand and connect myself with the struggles of countries like Ghana when they were fighting for their freedom from the British and stuff like that. I just don't completely understand it because it's a different thing for me. Like, I grew up in South Georgia, so I understand that. My grandma used to look through the window and go to the back of the store to buy whatever it is she wanted to buy. I can understand that. That's something different for me. So it just comes off a divisive in that manner. Like, she doesn't have to compare them.
Casso, what's your thoughts?
Well, I won't call it divisive. I'll say this: we can't we can't write out accomplishments, and we can't write out contributions that Black people outside of the diaspora made to the Black American civil rights movement. We talk about Marcus Garvey, and we know that Garveyism impacted Dr. King. He said it himself; it impacted him. And we can talk about Malcolm X, but a man who people never seem to speak about, a Jamaican man, is Harry Belafonte. Harry Belafonte was one of the most substantial financial backers of the American civil rights movement, and
Yep.
nothing in this country moves without money. You need the money, and that was
Mm-hmm.
Harry Belafonte. Not only was Barry Belafonte a prominent part of fundraising for the American civil rights
Mm-hmm.
movement, he did wonders for the image of Black Americans on the world stage. You got to understand
True.
that these movements sprout up, came about during a time in which people looked at Black American men as being savage like, as being brute figures, as being tap dancing, monkey looking entertainers. And for us to have a man like Harry Belafonte out front, it shows some sort of Black prominence. It showed the world Black excellence, and it showed the world Black prestige. And we can't write men like that out of Black American history. Harry Belafonte was a critical part of Black American history, and he was a man of Jamaican heritage. And we have to acknowledge that, and we have to praise him for what his contributions meant to the Black American civil rights movement.
Hey, Casso, though, this my thing. The Jamaicans should be telling us that when we be having
Oh,
these.
I do. Hold on. I do. I've
No,
told Kelly
no,
this.
I'm not.
I
I'm not.
told Kelly this
No,
because
no,
when
no.
Kelly told me, I love Kelly, but she's like, "Oh, well, they're not black. They're not black." I'm like, "Well, Harry Belafonte, he contributed to the civil rights struggle." And so that's why this is what my biggest issue with the whole FBA rhetoric sometimes, Kamal, is the fact that not you, Kamal, not you, but sometimes there are people that say that we don't help. They don't help. They fled their country. They did this. But Harry Belafonte wasn't looking back and helping Jamaica. He was helping stuff here, and he was one of the biggest ones. And he went through a lot. And so I do say it. I do talk about it.
All right, Nora, you talk about it. But I'll talk about the other Jamaicans when we have the discussions and we talk about the diaspora and stuff. I don't hear that shit at all. I don't hear Castle actually talked about it. I don't hear people from Jamaican heritage when we start talking about. They bring up Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X every time.
Oh, I bring up Harry Belafonte. You can ask Kelly. I bring him
I
up. I'm
believe
very
you.
proud of him. You know why I'm proud of him? He didn't do it. He didn't have to go like breaking down doors and attacking white people. Like for me, I don't listen. I understand that some white people have done a lot of bad things. I'm not saying that, but we need allies in this fight. And I keep saying that. And also with the whole fight for reparations, I'm going to keep saying it. You guys need allies. And I understand. But you want to know something? I think the most divisive voices are the loudest. And that's the problem. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're saying we don't do it, but we do talk about it. But you hearing about Marcus Garvey and them because they're the divisive ones in the movement. Harry Belafonte was about unity. He was not about divisiveness. He was about working with all people of everywhere to get ahead. And also about money. He was about giving money.
Yeah, but see, my problem with it is why the fuck am I learning about it or hearing about it right now when there's been hella diaspora war discussions, and I have to learn this shit through a Black American. You feel what I'm saying? That's my thing. Is like there's people from Jamaican heritage that could have been teaching us this to be like, oh, this is one of the allies that helped out and blah blah blah. But instead, we don't hear that shit. We hear, yeah, Malcolm X was this and that, and it's like, all right, that's just. I think that's some of the problems that I be having.
Look, come on, you can't sell me short. I don't think a lot of them people as good as me, man. You got to give me some credit, come on. Yeah, like, I don't. Come on now.
I'm trying to sell you short, brother. But
Yeah.
But this is my thing though. If it's within their lineage, you would think they would bring that up to educate us and be like, this is a person of Jamaican descent, a Jamaican lineage that helped out in a Black American movement. Why am I hearing it through? You know what I mean? I ain't selling
That's one of their strongest arguments because he's a man who helped finance the movement, and we know what money means here in America. And I agree with you. Jamaican people should be having those conversations if they're in a part of these diaspora wars. Like we help finance the move. That's a stronger standpoint than trying to take credit from Black people in terms of boots
So if we were to say that, they would say we're taking over the movement. It's the same conversation with the hip hop conversation. A lot of Jamaicans contributed to the foundation start of hip hop in New York City, but no, it's an attack if we say that. So I think the reason why.
I think it would be different because look at basketball. We know that the owners and that the investors, they finance what's able to be accomplished. But when the players go out there and the coaches go out there and they perform and they get a championship, they get credit for that. They get remembered for that. We don't remember the men who own the team or the men who paid the staff. That's not someone who's remembered in history. They're a pivotal part of it. But at the end of the day, the people who put down the work and play the game, they get the credit. They get to keep the trophy at their house. And that's what I think Black Americans deserve. We deserve to keep the trophy at our house.
Oh man, another point. If you guys agree.
Hey, but Nora, keep doing that though. You feel me? Keep.
I mean, but King said it. Don't talk. You know why I don't talk? I don't like drama. I don't like divisiveness. I don't like negativity because I know what was taught at my household. All that divisiveness was not taught to you. Get what I'm saying? But I'm not going to discredit when you guys are saying that you guys have had those experiences. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah. But I will remind people. In fact, I'm going to do a TikTok about Harry Belafonte. How about that? We'll talk about it.
And the thing that's problematic with King's Court Network, appreciate you for tuning in, Barbara, is that you're saying that why would we? It's not taken well. That's the point. You're supposed to have these tough conversations. That's the whole point. Okay?
Oh no, come on. Sometimes they go a little bit too tough.
Who cares how who take it? Because one person might take it not well, but then you got another person that be like, damn, that information actually helping me out, construct my mindset on certain things. So that'd be the thing, man. We can't be shying away from like conversations and learning shit and gaining knowledge to help us out as a goddamn people. You feel me? So that's just how I feel about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but